You're listening to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Each week, I'm going to be interviewing top realtors from coast to coast to give you a backstage pass on how they've created their amazing real estate empires and how you can copy them. Hi, everyone. This is real estate coach Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get listings over the phone. That's right, how to get sellers calling you. In fact, Tracy King from Tennessee is going to talk about how he got 80 such call-ins in 1 month. Tracy, thank you for being with us here today. Maybe start off by how did you get 80 home sellers calling you saying, I want an evaluation in 30 days?
Yeah, thanks, Greg, for having me, and appreciate you and what you've done in my life and your system and the coaching. All of it has been fantastic. And so how I did that was, first of all, I joined the Craig Proctor system, the Craig Proctor family. And now I'm a part of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and which is licensed by you, Craig. Again, thank you. What I did is I jumped in with both feet. I just, I don't do anything halfway, or I try not to nibble around the edges. So I just went for it. And this postcard is you and Todd produced, and I send it out to absentee owners, and I wasn't prepared for the response. And I thought it was, but I was not.
First of all, it's always nice when something works even way better than we think it's going to work. It's always refreshing.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to understand what we're talking about here are 80 home sellers wanting an evaluation that called, they called into Tracy's office. And we all know how difficult it is to get prospects on the phone. So, if you're buying leads from Zillow or Realtor, or you're just calling leads that you've generated anyway, you're driving them to a landing page or whatever, you know how difficult it is to get people to answer the phone. So what we've been talking about with our members is, well, we need to flip that around. Okay. If prospects won't answer the phone, we got to flip it around and make sure the marketing causes them to call us. If we can't call them and get them to pick up the phone, we got to flip it around and get calls into the office saying, I want an evaluation. And so that was that's what we set out to do with this direct mail campaign. But 80 in a month is impressive. You were saying before we got started, you had a hard time. You got 30 listings from that, but you said that really you were limited to 30 because you just couldn't get to all 80 of them.
That's right. Yeah, that's the part where I wasn't ready. Craig, the first I heard you say this was you called this reverse prospecting. And I found that interesting, and I just had to let that soak in, reverse prospecting. And you explained it. And so I'm like, okay. So today, for probably a year or so now, I don't buy leads anymore. You convinced me to, well, not only did you convince me, but the quality of the lead convinced me to stop buying leads. So I had to get good at this. I had to get good at direct response marketing, reverse prospecting, and you helped me with that. But so yeah, 80, I could have taken more listings, but I took 30. I remember it was a month in May. I can't remember what year. It's probably been 6-7 years ago. But yeah, I had 80 responses, and I took 30 that month, and I probably took some more down, like the next month or so. Just that particular month, in 1 month, 30 signed contracts, listed 30 homes, and then I just didn't look back.
Well, congratulations. There's not too many realtors in North America that can say they got 30 listings attributed to one marketing piece. And the nice thing about this is it's rinse and repeat. You can send out that marketing piece over and over and over again. You could even expand it. You could scale it up. You could send it to more homes.
Right.
But that's why I wanted to interview Tracy here today, because he does things that work. Well, let's get into this. How many transactions will you and your team do in 2023?
This year, I think we're on track to about 600. We did in 2022, we did 655.
So
Okay.
600, 650 transactions. That's
Yeah.
amazing. 30 of them came from this campaign. Now you can do this over and over again, but you have a whole bunch of other campaigns that you use that produce results. And so you're doing several things just over and over, rinse and repeat, causing phone calls to come into the office, basically saying, come and get me.
Craig, those 30 listings I took was over the phone. It wasn't I didn't meet people, meet face to face. I didn't leave my desk. I didn't have time to leave my desk, but I took all those listings over the phone. And so, I mean, how much that was so streamlined. I mean, it really was effective, and it saved me so much time. And so I got a lot. I got 30 listings without leaving my office.
That's pretty appealing. How many of you would like to get 30 listed, not leaving the office, not even getting off the chair? So you become really good at what you do once the seller calls in. So let's talk about that. So the first step is the marketing piece that makes an offer to homeowners about their current home value in this rapidly changing market. So now they're calling you. So imagine you send that direct mail out, you copy what Tracy's doing. You might not get 30, but if you got 20, if you got 10, you'd still be really happy. Let's talk about the phone call. If I'm the prospect, I'm calling in. What does the prospect typically say when they're calling into you? I was telling some friends of mine last night. They asked me, what was the biggest stage or biggest group of people you ever spoke to? And I said, honestly, it was at the Garden Arena. It was a RE/MAX conference back, I don't know, 15 years ago. And there were 15,000 people in the Garden Arena. The Garden Arena is in Las Vegas, where Mike Tyson would fight. And at the time, RE/MAX also was streaming this. This was at their international conference in Las Vegas. So I'm the keynote speaker. And they're also streaming this on our RSN, which is the RE/MAX satellite network. So I got 15,000 people here. And then I'm thinking about there might be 15,000 people watching it. And so this is earlier in my career, and I'm very nervous behind the stage before I go on. But that same thing has happened to you. I'm starting to lose my voice. And all you can think about, this is a very bad time to lose your voice. So I thought, okay, I gotta chill out. I got to get myself together. But I was very nervous, palms on my hand are sweating. And I thought to myself, what I'm going to do to relax myself and kind of win over the audience is I will start with this joke that I know. And Tracy, I was so nervous. I went out there and I perfectly did the joke up until the punchline. And I get to the punchline and I go, and you know what? And I blanked. And there was this uncomfortable silence, right? And I had, after about 10-second pause, I had to admit, and you know what? I forget. And it was funnier than the joke, right?
Yeah.
And I sort of won when I relaxed. But all these crazy things happen, when you're on stage and doing webinars. It's just the way it is.
We're all human. We're all human.
So anyway, don't sweat it. These things happen. So well, let's get back to when the prospect calls you off this direct mail piece. What do they typically say to you?
Well, they tell me this. Hey, I got this postcard in the mail, and it says my postcard says I have a buyer for your whatever property, and it says you have a buyer for me, and I'll say yes, and I'll immediately go to tell me about your home. And we talk about the home. They never come back to the fact what the postcard says because we're engaged in that. So I just talk to them about their home. I find out like, are you interested in selling it? And if we can get you the right number, just to talk, And then I'll talk to them about some of my key points that we have, like we have a presentation that we do. So I'm not showing them anything because they're on the phone. So I got good at memorizing the presentation and the key points and benefits and values and stats. And I just repeated that over and over and over to every phone call, every seller. And I would talk to them about their property, get permission to go view it. Most of them were online because they're overnight rentals here, or but I'd go view the property or whatever. And I did comps, and I would send the email to them, and then on the comps. But when I sent it, I would call them right when I sent it and say, "Hey, I just emailed you the comps."
So you were able to go over the comparables on the phone
On the phone with
at the second they received it. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now how do you graciously get out of the conversations with the people that are maybe just curious and they're not motivated to sell their home? How do you handle those ones?
Well, I just talked to them about keep the card, and if you change your mind, and if it's okay with you, I'll check back with you, just like the callback script that we know. And I would set up another time to follow up with them to see if anything's changed in their life. That's just what we did.
Now, how many years have you been coaching with me now, Tracy?
Well, it's been since 2012. So
2012. Okay, so 11 years.
11 years. Yeah.
Okay. What was your production, you and your team, what was your production 11, 12 years ago when you started with me?
Okay, when we signed up with you, it was just my wife and I and 2 admin, and we were doing about 650,000 in gross commission sales. I don't know how many sales that was, but probably like 100 and something, a little over 100.
Okay, so your small team with you or your wife, a couple people, you were doing $650,000 in gross commission income. Then you'd have expenses and stuff off that, but that's what the team is grossing. Okay,
right.
And what does that look like today per year?
We're about 10 million.
10 million in GCI. So if you're watching this and you want to do $10 million a year, folks, this is how it gets done. It wasn't done overnight. Tracy's been coaching with me for over a decade, but we have a model here. And Tracy, here's what the important thing was, is first of all, Tracy believed in our model, and Tracy implemented it. He worked hard, and not every thing worked the first time. He stuck with it. He did testing, and year after year after year, as he's implemented more and he's got a better understanding of it, his business is growing. His income is growing from $650,000 in GCI to now around $10 million. That's Tracy and his team. Now, we're going to have some naysayers. Oh, nobody does that kind of business. Yes, they do. In fact, there's many other Craig Proctor members like Tracy that mostly Tracy hangs out with. Okay, there's an elite group of agents that make over $1 million a month, and they have very good conversations, and they discuss the problems that people that make $1 million a month in GCI would have. So 10 million, 12 million or more in GCI. Now, you have a team, of course, to do this. Well, some people would say, well, that's not fair. Tracy has a team. Look, even if you had to give away half of $10 million, that's still $5 million. How many of you watching this would be good with $5 million? Okay. So if you want to grow a business instead of having a job, you're going to grow your team. Now you have to know, first of all, how to do the marketing and be involved in the marketing so you have an overflow of business. Tracy wasn't running around hiring team members when he could do the business himself. You want to do as much of the business as you possibly can. But when you get to the point where there's overflow, like business is falling off the table, you can't get to it all, that's when you want to get some help. Well, who do you want to help you? And how are you going to convince other real estate agents to come and partner up with you? Well, here's what Tracy has. Tracy has the thing that other agents in his marketplace don't have, but they want, which is appointments, listing appointments and buyer appointments, not leads. Okay. Right. Any of you can buy your leads. That's terrible. I know there's many of you watching this that you're not only are you doing it, it's terrible. You agree with me that hardly anyone's picking up the phone. You got to call 100 people to get someone on the phone, and they treat you like a salesperson. It's very, very difficult. Okay. So the better way is do not abdicate your marketing. Okay, do not abdicate it. Buying leads is not you understanding marketing. That's you buying leads and relying on somebody else to run your marketing. Do not do that. If you want to be successful, if if you want to make a lot of money in real estate, you need to learn to be a marketer first. That's what Tracy decided to do 11, 12 years ago. It's like, I want to have a business. I'm going to be a marketer. You being the marketer is the first step. And then starting to hire the people and grow the team as you need them. So here's what's different about this opportunity of working with Tracy. You would be given listing appointments. Like, no kidding. No, we don't give you leads. You get a listing appointment and you get another one, you get another one. In fact, you would control your day timer, and you would have to turn off or make yourself unavailable for certain evenings and days, or guess what? Tracy's office is going to book you appointments. So you get to control when you're working, when you're not working. And Tracy coaches you. Not only does he give you the business, he doesn't want you to mess the business up. So here's why he coaches you, because he wants you to do it exactly the way he would do it, the way he's been coached to do it. I coach Tracy. Tracy coaches you on what I told him to do. And now when you go out on the listing appointments, you meet with the buyers, you come back with a signed listing agreement, not a story. We don't want you coming back to the office with a story. Oh, well, this or that. No. These are come list me's. Tracy's problem is he can't get to them all. So he needs good people. Now, tell us about the marketplace that you serve. Where are you looking to recruit good agents? What geographical area?
It's literally all of East Tennessee, because we are doing business in all of East Tennessee. Matter of fact, I'm signing the lease today on a office in a town called Johnson City, which is the area is called Tri-Cities. It covers Johnson City, Bristol, and Kingsport and surrounding little towns there. We've been doing business there for about a year. So we're going all in there. So we're expanding again. But Knoxville is probably an area that most people would recognize. So, and then Chattanooga. So we need agents. Literally, if you live in East Tennessee or work in East Tennessee or want to move here or whatever and be in real estate, or you are in real estate, we're looking for agents in the East Tennessee region.
What could I expect to make? You and we were talking before we got started. I said, Tracy, you need to brag a bit about some of these agents on your team, because that's what I did. When I got my first top producing agents on my team, I had this lady named Lindy Black. And Lindy only had a real estate license for about a year and a half, and she was pulling down $250,000 to $300,000 for her. She was making that much or more for me. But I said, you got to brag on some of these people that you have, because every time you get a top producing agent who's netting, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, it helps you get the next one and so on. So what could I, if I'm Tracy King Jr., okay, I'm dedicated to this. I'm a good salesperson. I'm coachable. Coachable is huge. We'd rather you be inexperienced but coachable than experienced and a know-it-all. Okay. If you come and you join up with Tracy, we want you to do things a certain way. And if you're not prepared to do things a certain way, the way we want it done, it just wouldn't work. So don't apply for this. But if you're the type of agent that got into real estate because you want to make a lot of money without giving up your life, this is a perfect opportunity. This guy, Tracy King, he pulls out his wallet every month. He pays for all the marketing. You have no marketing costs at all. How easy would it be just to have Tracy, a little baseball analogy, you're at bat and Tracy's just throwing you lob balls. Now, a lot of you can hit the ball out of the park. Your problem is you don't get enough at bats, right? I hear from so many agents, when I get in front of the buyer or seller, I'm really, really good. The problem is you're not getting in front of enough buyers and sellers. Let Tracy take care of that for you. Okay. He'll throw the lob ball right over home plate. All you have to do is hit the ball out of the park. Okay. You're going to go on listing appointments. Now, once you get the listing, we should talk about this. Normally, for you folks watching this, you go get a listing and then you're bogged down with all the stuff that you need to do once you get a listing, right? You got to run around, take the pictures and make the fixture sheets and get the key cut and install the key box. You're not doing any of that when you're on Tracy's team. The admin team does that. Here's what you do. You get the listing, you send it in, you go to the next appointment, you get the listing, you send it in, you go to the next appointment, maybe it's a buyer, you send them a buyer agency agreement, you sell them a house. Tracy has one goal, and that's for the people on his team to make the absolute most of money they can every single week, because the more they make, the more he makes, the more families they can help. All right. Now, if I'm interested in having a conversation with you, Tracy, what would be the best way to do that?
I think the best way is to call me or text this number, 865-365-2280.
Okay, we're going to have you repeat that again, and we will have Tracy's phone number in the comments below this. And all you have to do is like Google the guy; you'll find him everywhere. Okay, sure. Tracy King, Realtor, Tennessee. But let's take that phone number one more time.
865-365-2280.
Now you notice how the voice is working perfectly now.
I know.
Yeah, I've cured you.
You cured it.
Yeah. Well, you know, I should have been Dr. Proctor.
Yeah. You know what? I was thinking about the team. You know, I love my team. They're for many reasons. They're all great people. They're giving of themselves. We don't have any, you know, in some brokerages, Craig, you've experienced it. There's jealousy or there's backbiting, there's fighting over leads or whatever in business, but none of that happens in our office.
Well, probably because there's enough business to go around, so there's not anything to fight about.
Right. No, that's the reason that. But besides them being great people, there's they have plenty of business to handle. I mean, I keep their pipelines full, and oftentimes, you know, like you talked earlier, they just have to put the white flag and go, I can't. I need 2 weeks to just give me 2 weeks, you know. So I'm constantly having to find agents to help, and my team, they know, like, you know, they've seen it, they experienced this. Like they're not afraid when we bring
they're not threatened when you bring in more people. Exactly. No, same with my team.
They're thankful.
Yeah. I had so much business coming. Like I mentioned, Lindy Black. I remember Lindy Black, when she came to work with me, I was like the first agent in ever history to hire a team. I was never a broker. And when I hired her, I mean, we're talking back in the 1980s, it was radical that an agent, I was working at Remax, an agent would have another agent working for them. It was completely unheard of. But within 18 months, Lindy Black comes into the office, her hair is all over the place. She's like, I can't do this. So she welcomed the fact that we hired the next one and the next one. So there's so much business. Now, some of you watching this are going to call out BS on this, okay? Because you're skeptical, because it sounds too good to be true. And I said to Tracy before we got started, it does. I mean, as we're describing the marketing and the potential here and how much money a real estate agent can make using the Craig Proctor system or joining forces, partnering up with one of our Your Home Sold brokers, it sounds too good to be true. We get that. And we also understand as marketers, the old saying that if everyone believed your opportunity and everybody like understood it. So if they understood it and they believed it, they'd all be part of it. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here today is to let you know, yeah, this is real. You can make a lot of money here if you're plugged into a system that provides you ready to act buyers and sellers all day long and takes everything else off your plate. You're not messing around with marketing. You're not spending money on marketing. You're not getting signs up and down, keys cut, paperwork. That's all taken off your plate. Now, if you're not in Eastern Tennessee, if you're not in Tracy's marketplace and you want to learn how to do this, you want to learn how to do what Tracy's doing, you should book a call with me. You can do that at proctorcall.com. So no space, proctorcall.com, my name, proctorcall.com. When you go there, you'll see my acuity day timer. You're going to book a day and a time, and then I'll ask you a bunch of questions about your business and what you're doing right now. So when we talk, I'm prepared. I know a little bit about you. Now, this is not a big sales call or anything like that. Same thing when you call Tracy. I'm not trying to convince you. You either get this and you understand the opportunity or you don't. This is not for everybody. For example, if you've got a massively huge ego and you're going to always want to do things your way and your name needs to be in the limelight, don't even bother calling Tracy. It's not going to be a good fit, right? No. You're going to be part of this team, an important part. But if your focus is making a lot of money without working 70 hours a week and having control of that's why people get into real estate usually, right? I want freedom. I want more freedom. And then the very first thing we lose as we begin to become successful is that freedom. You have to have both to get freedom. You've got to have money and you have to have time. It's a very unique opportunity for real estate agents. So if you're in Eastern Tennessee, you're going to set up a call with Tracy. If you're outside of Eastern Tennessee, you're thinking, okay, either I want to be the next Tracy King, I want to do this, I want to grow out my team, I want to be a student of direct response marketing, I want to learn how to make it rain in my business so I have so much business coming in that I can grow a team. Or maybe you're thinking, you know what, I don't really have any ambition to grow a team, but this whole idea of working for a Craig Proctor agent that already has a team is kind of appealing. And in 2015, Todd Walters and I wrote a book, and the book was about teams. And here's what we predicted. This is, back in 2015. The title of the book was called The Death of the Traditional Real Estate Agent and the Rise of the Super Profitable Sales Team. And the point we made in the book is going forward into the future, you're going to have to pick one. Okay, you're going to have a choice to make, whether you're going to start your own super profitable real estate sales team like Tracy King did, or whether you're thinking, you know what, I just want to be part of one all over the United States and Canada, and you could be part of one of those brokerages and plugged into a system that already exists. You don't have to spend 10 years being coached by Craig Proctor to figure it out. Tracy's done that. He's invested the money in the marketing. He knows what works. He just needs good people now to give these appointments to. All right. So final thoughts here, Tracy, before we wrap it up.
Well, I'd like to say something about a couple of my agents. One is he's been with me about 6 months. His name's Levi, and Levi had no experience in real estate, and so Levi is he caught on really quickly. He's doing about 5 or 6 deals a month, and he has spent $0 in producing that kind of income.
So no background in real estate, never had a license.
No background.
And he's cranking out 5 or 6 transactions every month. Okay,
Right.
and he's been with you for how long?
About 6 months.
Okay, so this can happen very quickly. That's got to be
Yes.
appealing to a lot of you. I mean, a lot of agents have been in real estate for 6 years or 16 years or 60 years, and they're not doing 6 transactions a month. All right, give us another example.
I've got a couple guys on my team that are, they're making over 200 grand a year. And a lot of my agents take vacations. Most agents don't take a vacation, or if they do, they take a working vacation because they're always, on their phone.
Tracy, I call those a workcation, right?
A workcation,
Yeah, because they're just doing their work from a different place.
That's
right?
it.
They're on the beach with their cell phone and their laptop. And
Hey, I did that.
Yep.
I was that guy before I met you, and so they have a lot more time with their family and everything. And then I've had agents come in that we recruited, and they came in and joined our team, and they would like, wow, this is really true. This really is what you told me it was going to be. And they would say, well, and you're not the devil, And I'm like, right. So I just want to help
what Tracy's talking about is when you're a top agent in your marketplace, one of the challenges in recruiting agents is sometimes, not all, but some of your competitors will say, we were joking around, Craig Proctor, that guy's the devil, or Tracy King, that guy's the devil. And then when you finally meet these people and they talk to you, they're like, Tracy's actually like a really nice guy. So we just kind of think that's funny. I mean, professional jealousy, I guess, in every industry, but yeah, sometimes so if you're in Eastern Tennessee and you've heard something maybe from your broker, or so someone doesn't even really know. The crazy thing is a lot of people that would say these types of things have never had a conversation with you, right? There's no basis. Don't even know your name. So have a conversation with us. Don't let what you think or what you heard or what somebody else said. You guys are all intelligent. You can make your own decision here. But no matter where we go across the country, there's a lot of agents in that city that don't like the top agent. Whoever the top agent is, that person's the devil. And look, professional jealousy, I get it.
Right.
But don't let that get in the way of you having a better life here in real estate. Okay.
That's right.
All you need to do is investigate this. You don't need to say yes today. Just have an open mind. Book a call. All good things start with a conversation.
Yeah.
What would be the downside of having a conversation with Tracy or myself. The call is free. If you don't like what we're saying, just hang up on us, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, what if this is true? What if we have a system to help you make more money in less time and have a way better life inside of real estate? I would examine it, right? I've been around in this industry for over 30 years. Tracy has been partnered up with me, working with me now for 11 years. And, you know, we're going into the future, building this bigger and better, and we need good people to help us expand. And you're watching this right now for a reason. We're a half an hour into this and you're still watching it. So that means you're interested. So book the call. You can with me at proctorcall.com, and we'll have Tracy's phone number down below, or just Google the guy. You'll find him all over the place. Tracy King, I wish you continued success, and thank you so much for being on the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show here today.
Thank you, Craig. And I want to encourage anyone that maybe you have a sales team now. Maybe you think you're doing just fine, but I'm going to tell you, if you don't have Craig Proctor in your corner, you have not reached the pinnacle. So I highly recommend that if you are interested in being a success story or increasing your success story, you should call Craig for sure.
I appreciate that, Tracy.
Sure
Thanks,
thing.
everybody, so much for watching. This is the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Take care, and we'll see you all next time. Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.